having insecurities is normal because you have to have something that you have to focus or work or perfect. You have to have that one thing that makes you bad inside for you to overcome. I over my jealousy is something I like. How I go over my jealousy is accepting that what you have, I don't have. We need to know our strengths. We need to know what is in our hearts. Don't run away from it. I'm talking to myself, I'm talking to everyone. We mustn't run away from what you think is passion. It's not your passion, it's your purpose. You just need to be passionate about that purpose. Build it. I shared a video and said, you know, when we go to God in prayer, we have a very bad habit that we must let go of. We go to God in prayer and we offload and then say amen and then we are done. And I say, if we say God is so loving and God is so kind and God is all that He is, when do we ever take the chance or the time to listen to Him respond when we pray? You know, I say I have conversations with God. That's my prayers. I have constant conversations. From when I came in, I was having conversations. As they speak, I'm having conversations. And to me, that is my prayer. Because sometimes when we pray, we go, we ask, we tell on, and then we go and we're done, and we expect God to act. But God is us. So if you don't take time to listen to Him respond when you pray, then you will never get the answer. Sometimes we say God doesn't answer, but our doubt or our fears are too loud for us to hear Him. His answers rather are in us being still and listening. So next time, ladies, when you go to your prayer corner, have conversations with God. And sometimes listen to Him even when you're not in that corner or in that space of prayer. Because at times we go to God when we want to speak, but when He wants to speak, we don't have time. When He wants to speak, we don't have time. Let us teach ourselves to respond to His calling so that He can work through us. And let us be brave enough to accept our brokenness and allow our lights to shine and serve our purpose, broken as we are. Let us be told.
Guys, that's Tabsi. Tabsi is so deep. She is so deep. It gets so emotionally exhausting. I get so like I always, whenever I speak to her, like I always want to, you know, I always want to, I don't know, like no man right, you know, I could be okay, I could be having my things under control, but speaking to Tabsi always leaves me feeling I need to fix myself.
I'll tell you why. I remember I always say my life is that of Joseph. And I'll tell you why. And I grew up, my father's a polygamist. My grandfather was also, had 8 wives. So in my family, polygamy is a norm. It's not a bizarre thing, you know? And obviously, being the child of the first mother, the one that decided not to stay, and also wanting us to be a part of the family, comes with everything else, because you are now raised by another woman. And of course, finding herself in her brokenness of having to start again. She had a husband, she has no husband now. She has to do it on her own. She has 2 kids. I then had to stay with my dad and the wife, one wife at a time, because it doesn't work there, I'll go somewhere else. My dad was a very, he was an abusive person, physically, that is. I don't know if it's something that's inherited and I don't understand, because it's something that is also quite a norm in the family, you know? And his solution was to beat us up. And I remember there was a time where I used to make excuses for him at school. You know, I'd go to school with bruises and I'd be like, what is happening with you? And I'll make an excuse. I always say it's easy for somebody that comes from a poor family to find sympathy in people because they like, oh, shame. But when it's covered with the glitz and the glam, they're like, she's crazy. She's not going to that. You know, she's got everything. You know, the latest cell phones, they drive the latest cars. How can she be unhappy? But beneath the carpet of those expensive rugs was all the dirt they hid. And I remember at the age of 15, I said to you, Durban is a big part of it. I went to Durban at the age of 15 because my brother was in varsity. And there was a night where I had an encounter with my younger stepmother, and the beatings were too much from my father that it was now people are like, go to the police, but because, I mean, he's a well-known person in NELSPRUIT, what are people gonna say? You know, you can't bring him down, you have to protect him. So I had to leave. My brother was like, okay, let me take him. I went to study in Durban. And he was graduating in that year, I remember, because in June, I found a school, and then in June he had to leave. And I was alone in a foreign city. He was the only person I knew. I was 15, we stayed in a flat, because the school I went to had no hostel. And I was 15 years, guys. I didn't know how to cook. I didn't know how to pay the bills. I didn't know how to take care of myself. So I think from there is when God's voice became so loud. Somehow, as young as I was, I knew I wasn't alone. And I can imagine Joseph in exile going through whatever it is that he was going through, also to serve the same purpose, because I'm also a dreamer. And God communicates through dreams. I understood that in the age of 15. And I stayed the journey with him. I paid the bills. I went to school. I'm telling you, from 15 till matric, my mom, my cousins, my father didn't know where I stayed. They never came to visit. Basically, I was in exile. The only time they saw me was when I went back home. Oh, she's fine, you know? And because, like I said, when you come from a family that has, people think it's always a privilege. So I always learned to cry to him with the pain. And that's where the journey of him and I started. And that's where the conversations were. And that's when the purpose, you know, was discovered in the midst of the exile. You know, life became a personal trick. I went to varsity and everybody was like, how did you do it? I don't know. I wasn't perfect, guys. I bunked school. I went to parties, sometimes hosted them. I had a cousin that, I was in grade 11 at that time, and he was first year. He came and lived with me, and guys, I would study while having a beer because there's a party happening, but I'm writing an exam tomorrow. That is grace. That is grace. And many people always say, you always have the answers. It's not me. It's him. Who I'm so grateful that such a story that may have been so painful. Like you said, sometimes when you look back, you're like, I wouldn't change a thing. Because then I wouldn't be the person that I am, and I wouldn't serve the purpose that I'm serving if I didn't go through everything. And this year, 2020, has been amazing, guys. A year of healing.
Yes.
Because I healed from all the pain I used to carry from being neglected, I thought, and my parents didn't care about me. But basically what I'm saying is, she may say, Tamsi, guys, all the glory is God's.
Yes.
Through experience, through serving Him, through trusting Him, through grace, through faith. And yeah, basically faith.
Wow, guys. It's so funny how rebellion the plan was to make this impactful. And I'm happy. I'm happy. I can feel it. I can feel it in my bones. I uttered the words. The words spoke before the whole thing happened. This is exactly how I wanted it to be. Intimate to the point, us sharing our story, not us making a mockery out of each other. We all have stories to tell. Like she's saying, I'm looking at you right now, like we are Glover girl. We are Glover, and I'm sure there is a story behind that glory. Girl, at some point make her being a child. I had to revisit. The version that I wanted to be. I had to see the woman that I wanted to become. And I was like, no man, the woman that I want to become, she looks like Nanni.
Yeah.
She looks like it. Yeah. She looks like Nanni. I always say people could see it's very, very important that you visualize yourself as the highest person that you want to be. And then you'll have an understanding why you are here. It serves purpose also. Because we dwell on me losing the things that I am losing. We dwell on me not having the things that I want to have, and not dwell on what is ahead, what you are prepared for. I'm not talking about the table that is being prepared, your enemies and whatnot. I fully believe, Guti, everything that goes in life has a lot to do with you and God and your relationship with yourself. Introspection. I think so far the words that I love, or my key words this year, it's discernment.
Yes.
And alignment. Introspection. We did all of that this year. Good discernment, I think the president made a huge favor that we gave ahead. Otherwise, you were. Otherwise, you were on your own. People that invited you were like, what? With what money? No. And we got to experience so many things. There is a story that I love. I think I did mention, I touched earlier on of how God is in the recycling business in each and every one of us lives. But he will not want it anyway. So liche, stone. He will not. You see a sculpture. Is it a sculpture? You look later, yeah. I always refer that person to God. That person is closer to God. Because Utola, something that is dirt, something that people that we lose, and then I recreate. That is how God does, or that is how God is with us. And I love the fact that we are touching on God, because it is through Him that we are actually surviving. I don't care. So, I feel good, team. it's very important to have a relationship with God at the same time, as much as you be having a relationship with yourself. Doing all these things like you pray for the spiritual discernment, you pray for alignment, you pray for your what's this? Your introspection. Elsa is famous today, not because this girl that was trending, Ulama video, she's just a girl next door, I shoot her video. Those funny videos, guys. She's from Ghana. Are you guys aware that she's now leading? She's actually appointed by IFOs. IFOs appointed her, not appointed her, like they spoke, they ran an interview, very big, exclusive interview on her. Imagine. Meaning, I'm going to make it on shows, by the way. One day, cover your folks, one day. So this girl, when all these things started, go and I look down, let's see show. But it's in his funeral, a makeup artist. She doesn't have a makeup artist. She was approached by Fenty, Rihanna's label. Fenty, by the way. Yeah. The one that we say fake, wow. You get what you see where I'm going with this. Elsa is to guys, they hair. Elsa looks funny. I'm not in a bad way, but she looks funny. She's that kind of how IFOs approaches her. In Times magazine, Times is like the biggest magazine globally. Whatever, no one. Elsa is 19, guys. I like Elsa, guys. You guys getting where I'm going with this. But tonight we want everything to be perfect. So Elsa took all these videos. Watch that face. Elsa made it by being authentic.
Yeah.
When they introspection, we understand that this is where I come from. And it's equally we look down. You're no longer going to this restaurant or these established places that you told them the pictures and anything that you want to back recognize a way now in order for them to approach you. But approach everything comfort space. Maybe you get where I'm going with this. So it's very important to use the keyword introspection. Inside, I'm not gonna do that for you. I can be your friend, I can be your lover, I can be your mother. I can be your do or die. But I can never have that ability to help you do introspection on yourself, to have you align yourself with the people that you know. I'm aligned with her, like I did mention earlier on. I'm aligned with her. Our relationship, she's not my friend. She's actually my client, by the way. But when we started connecting with the night, when we started working, things fell into place. We had an understanding. And it's funny how God, whenever I would speak with her, she always told me, she mentioned something yesterday, it made me cry. I'm not sure if I told one of our many black guys yesterday. I'm not sure if I told one of our many black guys, when she mentioned something so profound to me. I think I told you, Auntie, the lady that was sitting here, again. And so when I have faith by my corner, I know everything is going to be okay. Mati could tell me, when my dad named me Faith, when he told me the story of why he named me Faith, it's a story for another day. It made me realize that I'm no longer carrying. You get what I mean? It's now a spiritual engagement. She doesn't say I am with faith. She says I am when faith is at my corner. It's no longer. I've got to a point where I've learned to see me being faith, because I have people that come up to me, people that I've never met. You guys are meeting me today. You know, like in making sure guys you see nginaka manje kuzokuba ne-traffic. Yes, kuzokuba ne-traffic. La ngikhona ngisayisa something. Need to speak to my PA. You know, what made me realize, Uti, I've got so many people that I don't know personally. They ask my number, Uti, oh, I need to speak to Eulender, I need to speak to Tamsi. They tell me you've got her numbers. And these people, they come into my corner without me knowing it. Uti, they're in my corner. You inspire me. But I have not even started yet. I'm still in a process position. You understand that? And that the reason why I'm saying that is because having Eulender said that yesterday, Magati, when I have you, Ceci, you know, when I have faith in my corner, I know things are going to go according to the way that I want them to. Do you understand? So we carry a lot. You being Bali, you carry so much more that you probably do not understand. You touching lives in a way that you will not even understand. You see, how are you touching them? Sometimes with me, it is through my name. My name carries me. And every single person that I touch or every single person that I engage with, it all ends up to them saying, you know, after talking to you, I feel better. You know? And the beautiful lady at the back wants to say something also.
Yeah, I just want to attest to what you have said and what she mentioned. But you don't. What happens if you ignore your purpose? Most of us said we knew our purpose when we were 15, and then we forget and whatever. As we were sitting, she was telling us a story of another guy who had everything. By the age of 25, he was rich and sometimes we want to be like that. And my answer to her was that maybe he's about to die in 30 years. But I didn't share my story. Unlike most people, they will share their story. I'm coming from this background, I was neglected, I was there. In my life, I never had that. I'm somebody who does everything by book. If you have to study and do it by 3 years, I will finish it in 2.5 years. If you're supposed to be working at 20, I'll be working in 21. So my life has been like that, smooth. And I thank God that I've encountered difficult times, because I would not understand where Nkari is coming from. I would not understand where other people are coming from, because everything in my life has been smooth. I've never, like, if I open the fridge and there's no grapes, it means they're out of season. That was my life. I don't want to lie and say, it means they were out of season. If I'm at varsity, I would have my Chico driving to varsity while others are working. But what I'm coming from is that everything in my life was smooth. At 25, I had a huge wedding. I was already married. So you see, I would have a 21st, I'm married, everything was smooth. And career-wise, by the age of 30, I was already a deputy director at that time. People work for a very long time to reach it, but I've already achieved it. What I'm coming to is that at that time, and at 27, I had already reached it. At 28, my life changed. And that's where, because I was ignoring my purpose. Because sometimes when you know your purpose, but everything is smooth.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, I'm going to do it some other time, and some other day, until God wants you to say, hey, that's enough. You are ignoring your existence, because that is my main reason why So that my purpose or what I think I'm existing for is for people to heal. You talk to me, you heal.
Yeah.
And because I've studied psychology, at some point I lost a lot of money because people will come for sessions and I don't charge because they don't have money. You understand? So I would lose a lot of money because then I had realized that is my purpose. And if someone doesn't have money, where are they going to get? And I would never follow up. So my story is that at the age of 28, because I was ignoring my purpose, I got sick. All of a sudden, I got sick, and it's a lot. I don't want to talk about. I'm summarizing, but I got sick. I was pregnant. I got sick, and I lost my baby, and both my kidneys failed. So I had to be out of work for 2 years. And at some point, I had to resign and say, I can't do this anymore. And by the time when I recovered, it's a long journey, I had to start going to work and apply for admin position. Can you imagine?
Yeah. The whole time.
Yeah.
Yes, I had to. The first post that was available for me was an administrator. And can you imagine how suffocating, how shocked I am when people are making decisions which I'm thinking, why are they making this? Because I've been there. But because I was ignoring my purpose, but that was to bounce back. But in a nutshell, it's to say that if you ignore your purpose, at some point you'll have to pay a big price for it.
Yes. Another thing, ladies, let us remember that it's a spiritual warfare. We speak about purpose and we attach it so much to the physical. You know, we attach it so much to the physical things we achieve while serving that purpose, you know? And at the end of the day, it's not the physical that counts. It's what's within, because God is not physical. And let's also be aware, Faith spoke about introspecting. Your thoughts are really, really important. Your thoughts are whispers. It's either they're from the evil or they're from the good. Let us remember that as much as we speak about light, there's darkness, which also is very present and very dominant. And we because of how nature is, you know, there's daylight, there's night, we have to live through the darkness. And I can imagine when God created heaven with Lucifer and earth and everything in it, with Lucifer by his side, he knew that Lucifer was going to betray him. It's not like he didn't know. He knew that was going to happen. But because he is God and his glory must prevail, he allowed it to happen so that darkness can come take over. And for his glory, we know God because darkness exists. You know, and because darkness exists, we also have darkness within us. We have dark spirits that exist within us. It's just that if you choose God, you choose to obey the good ones. It does not mean that we don't have bad thoughts. I can say I'm born again, I'm a child of God, or I'm spiritual. I'm not religious, I'm spiritual. I can say, you know, I'm a spiritual being, but I have dark thoughts. The only thing is, I have conversations with my thoughts like I have a conversation with a person, because I have become aware that our thoughts are what rules us. You know, our thoughts become things. So I had an interview once. A lady was doing her blog, and she asked me like what 2020 I was saying. For me, it was releasing myself from pain. And she said, how did you do that? I said, literally, like I've got tattoos, I have piercings. It was because every time I felt pain, I needed it to be physical. You know, I like pain. I'm not scared of pain. When somebody would do something that would make my body feel pain, it feels nice. It felt nice because inside of me, that my demon was pain. We all have demons, and we have to be aware of our demons to find our lights. Because as soon as you discover your light, your demon always comes and creeps in. Guys, there's always day, there's always night. Our mistake is we always want to acknowledge only the light and the night, but we must understand which demons we also possess, so that we can be stronger than them and conquer them. And it's all in your thoughts. beware of your thoughts, because your thoughts are either they're planted by the devil or they are planted by God. Right now, where you are sitting, you are thinking something. You must always be aware. Like when I think of something negative, I tell the devil to fuck off. Like, what are you doing? You know, this is not your place. You know, can I think of, can I channel my thoughts and my actions to what represent light? You know, and I'm not saying I am perfect. I'm just in control of my darkness. My darkness is scared of me because I see it approaching. But if you are in denial of it, then that's when it controls you. That's when it has power over you. Because we want to be perfect. We want to be right. You know, we always want to come out as this image that is good enough. You know, we must, that's why I said we are broken. We must acknowledge our brokenness. We must acknowledge our weakness and be in control of them. So let us really, really be mindful of our thoughts. The other day I was having a conversation with God, and I uttered something opposite to what I was praying for. And he said to me, now you see, you're already bringing the opposite of what you pray for into existence. How is what he is? He's confused. He's the same, guys. He's the same. With us, we pray for one thing now, and then we say, oh my God, it's so difficult. Because you know what? The minute you say that, I always say that our thoughts are like, look at the rain. I always compare things to nature. You see, when rain must happen, there must be evaporation. And those are your thoughts. Each thought that you think evaporates and creates a cloud. And soon it will rain. What thoughts are you saying? Are they the thoughts of your struggle? You may be going through a tough time, but are you always thinking of the tough time? Because that's what you are creating. That's what is going to rain. You know? Oh guys, I'm so broke.
You are going to be broke.
You created the broke cloud. Each time you say that word, you are creating the broke cloud. And soon, that's what is going to rain. But finding your purpose is also being brave to say, regardless of the darkness that may come and try and hinder me from my purpose, because I am telling you, once you find your light, darkness will be so clear and darkness will be so strong, and you have to be faithful to move on. You have to be faithful. You always have to look beyond. My friends always say, it's always like you never go through things. You always calm even when you're facing dark. I'm like, I always see beyond. I always see, like I say, I am the calm in the ocean. You know, the waves are there, but I choose to be in the deep calm side because I always see beyond the waves. You know, in the ocean, we look at the beach, we look at the waves, and they make a noise. But over that, there is peace. So always focus on the other side of whatever you are going through, because that is where your light is. Sometimes you have to go through tough times. We all have. It's the process of life, guys. You have to. It's just different things. That's why we all have different stories, different experiences, different journeys. It's something that it's part of life. It's the natural process of life that those things must happen. But let us always look beyond the struggles that we experience and understand that we are greater than the demons that we possess. And also, you don't need people to come pray for you to cast you. Do you know your demons? Cast them out yourself. You know, envy is a demon. You look at someone and you're like, I wish I was her.
Yes.
That's a demon you need to deal with. You know, jealousy is a demon. Gossiping is the little things that we also overlook are the demons. Sometimes they come, you know, as little as, you know what I mean? The smallest thing that you may think, ah man, it won't, you know, don't do no harm. It does.
Yes.
It does.
Ladies, thank you so much. I'm gonna stand up. I'm gonna give you first. Sorry. Those that know me know that I love entertaining. First and foremost, I don't want a dull room. I want to see smiles. I'm on a journey to be a healer, Sangoma, if I may say. So So me now, I'm all about healing through entertainment. Okay. So you guys had us deep, we've had some deep conversations and very meaningful things to say to one another. I'm gonna bring some sort of fun element to this talk. Eulender doesn't know how to didn't talk. Because she ambushed me to come and cry in front of you guys. I've decided I'm gonna bring the speaker for her. So I had written this whole speech, how I'm gonna do this whole thing, but I'm not going to do that. Rather, I'm going to make us all engage. So I'm one that believes that everybody has insecurities. I have my insecurities. I had them since I was young. I still have them even today. So I'm going to just quickly ask each and every one of you guys to just name one insecurity that you know of that you struggle with. I'll start with you, Miss
Being overlooked.
Overlooked.
Just one.
Yeah. Your nose. Misunderstood. Not? Oh, darling. She doesn't believe she's beautiful, darling.
Girl,
You got me said no. Sorry? She doesn't have confidence. We'll come back. Sorry? She doesn't believe she doesn't believe she's beautiful. Laugh. You're in the audio. She doesn't have hair. No confidence. Beautiful one?
I think it could be not being good enough.
Not being good enough. Kasi?
Show me I'll say confidence because I'm dark, but I never.
the pictures of
I've
the
never
dark
had
and
a
confidence.
best experience like that.
Exactly.
Hello, ladies.
Okay. My love? They're too short. Oops.
Misunderstood or just
Being misunderstood. Rather? The fear of not being successful enough. Sister? Sorry? She doesn't believe she's beautiful enough. Hey, right? I know.
I want more money.
Yes! That's the language. That's the language. Well,
Not being successful enough. Also not being successful enough. Mina, right now, my biggest insecurity is failure in my new venture. Everybody around me believes that I'll make it, but I am my biggest critic. Like after I do elections, I'll literally check each and every one of them with are they attached, you know. That is my insecurities. But the whole point of this exercise is that, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to know it's normal. Having insecurities, it's normal because you have to have something that you have to focus or work or perfect, if I might say. You have to have that one thing that makes you bad inside for you to overcome. It is absolutely normal. So the things I'm going to say might touch if you, might upset if you, but my whole purpose, as I explained, is to entertain and heal at the end of the day. Where do I start? I'm shaking.
relax.
I believe, I'm a strong believer of the situation doesn't define you. What defines you is how you handle the situation. So some of us have got demons, as you said, demons of jealousy. What defines you is how you handle the jealousy, how you get past that jealousy. I also had jealousy at some point in life. How I got over my jealousy is accepting that what you have, I don't have.
Yeah.
Possibilities I can never have, and it's okay. What I have, it's okay. One of my other insecurities is that I never felt I belonged anywhere. Mrs. South Africa. I didn't feel I belonged. I just came.
Yeah.
I became me, praising God, because honestly, I felt like I didn't belong. No matter who tried to be close to me in that sisterhood, I would never allow anyone to get close to me. How many times have you reached out? Have I reached out? But see, we're just complaining right here. I'm like, why do you just go disappear? It's because I still struggle with feeling like I don't belong. Matapa, one of the previous queens, said, if you are in a room full of capable people, best believe you are also.
Yes.
I am still trying to digest and understand them. A lot of people ask me why I mock myself and I call myself Shadow. Pops like say, hi Shadow.
Yeah.
I call myself Shadow because I genuinely believe I found the gold beneath my melanin.
Yeah.
When it's too dark outside, I was telling her, we get darker. Whether you're in a room of aircons, whether there's fans, as long as it's bright outside, I will get darker where I am. My melanin will pop, and that is my goal. For a long time, I looked at that, and that was my weakness. There's something though I never wanted to do. I never wanted to bleach. I never understood why I needed to bleach, but I was not happy with my melanin at the same time. So I found the gold in my melanin. I also understood this young lady said something. People that are mean or horrible to you is because they're broken themselves. That is what I found. So that's why I'm like, I wrote the whole speech, but we spoke about everything. So I found that a person that comes to me, example, when I was 14 in a new school, I was called Zikwe. Those who know Stakalani Sesame know Zikwe. Zikwe is blue, guys.
Yeah.
Guys, I'm not blue. Do I look like I am blue?
Charge of banana.
Guys, I was called Zikwe, and I had the hottest body. I had the most pickiest boobs, and I felt myself. I remember it was Valentine's Day one day, and I took out one of my best dresses. I had had that dress for 4 years, but it was still one of my best dresses. It was a jean dress, it was torn here, and I sewed it up, and I left it with Nyana, but you know, the girls can play Nyana. And I went to school in Zikwe, I sandals were whitey, dating was brown, you know? The dress was blue, and colored, but it was one of my best dresses because it was tight. I walked in there, and I'm like, Zikwe. I'm like, I'm beautiful, and the dress went, yes. I went home. I walked on the road. I didn't care. I left it like that and I walked home. And I said to my brother, I was staying in the walk home at this time, and I said to my brother, I want to go back home. Irregardless how ugly I am back home, at least I know there are ones that look like me. And guys, as a 14-year-old, that time for me, okay, it hurt. It was, I didn't understand it's going to affect me. It affected me so much that when I'm in a room of women, I start to look, who is dark like me? If there is no one dark like me, I stand up and I
Miss your chance.
yeah. So now, if you come to me like I was saying to Heidi and mock me, I will take you under my wing and I will brainwash you to believing in yourself, because you believing in yourself ignites me and heals a bit of the wound that is in me. We need to understand that we are not made perfect, but there's always room to improve. When I was better growing up, I used to hate enhancements. Okay? I used to think they're so fake. There's no way you're natural with enhancement. And now I'm celebrated for being a natural beauty. People don't see my eyelashes. When I've got long nails, people don't see that. People genuinely see my real beauty. So I have a saying that I love the TLC, the group TLC. They have a song saying I'm pretty. I live by that song. There's nothing in me I wouldn't do to change me, to make me look beautiful and me feel beautiful. They say you can buy your hair if you don't grow. Somebody bought your hair.
Yeah.
How do you feel with your hair? Gorgeous. You can fix your nose if you say so. You've got a problem with your nose. Oh, Mina, you know what? You love your nose, ne? There you go. But if you don't love it,
I've accepted it.
high five. Mina, I choose to fix. Mina, I choose. If I had a nose that I wasn't happy with, I would have had surgery to fix it. I'm not happy with my boobs. I've got 3 children, can you tell? Nope. I want my body to show and say she's got 3 children. I do. I feel I'm too skinny. I'm trying to gain weight. Can you believe it? I am trying to gain weight. And I've been trying to gain weight since the competition.
Can I give you my phone?
Definitely.
And it's because it's watered as well, so like we never think about all the
You see, so what I'm going with this, ladies, is that you are the first person that makes you feel unpretty before someone else actually makes you feel unpretty.
Yeah.
You look at yourself in the mirror and you say, I'm too dark, before anyone else comes and says, you are too dark. Today, finding your purpose, I want you to find your confidence before you find your purpose. Because without that confidence, without you being whole, you are unable to give someone else a shining light. Today, I want you to go into that mirror of yours, whether it's a small mirror, whether it's a big mirror, you look at yourself and you look inside and you try to find that person that makes you so unpretty and you pull them from the root.
Yeah.
Because they don't have any life. Ladies, go look inside of you. The little voice that tells you you're not good enough, the little voice that tells you that she's gonna fail, she's gonna fight with it. I'm gonna fight with it and I'm gonna become a success. The moment it's gonna become a success. So honey, my babe, you're gorgeous. That little voice that says, no, not today. You tell that voice, no, you not today, out. And you find that person, you unroot the evil that is within you that makes you feel unpretty. Because when someone else comes and says you are unpretty, it's gonna hurt more. Deal with it yourself. Get the confidence so that you can be able to hold someone else's hand, being content with who you are, and you know you are leading someone right and not astray. Thank you, ladies.
That was powerful, guys. I'm happy she ended on that part. Because Lana acted to Atiena, sometimes what others think of you is far less important than what you think of yours. We are so quick to think, you know, what are people going to say? Like you were saying right now,
walking there,
you're walking there, yes. Yes. You know, you
so wrong. It's refreshing.
Did you laugh? My job is done. Thank you. I can go home. Thank you very much, everybody.
And she further says, we must actually, guys, it's important. I always say, allow people to think whatever.
Yeah.
You know, and then mean it. At the end of the day, enjoy their reaction when they find out who you are. Because I need to you paraded. A lot of people are saying, if people say, who does she think she is?
Yes.
I am going to recall Oprah's words. I used to be scared of people saying to me, who does she think she is?
Yeah.
It's because they already know. I'm like, girl, seriously, come on. You get what I mean? There is so much that we are scared of in essence that doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
It's in our head.
And you know, some of them are actually blessings. Just to give you an example, I remember my husband and I have been working together for literally almost 8 years. We've been together for literally 8 years. So there was a company we were working and I resigned. As I resigned, a string of people followed me. And life hit me hard and I had to go back to the company. And they tell me, I didn't realize this at the point, right? They tell me, I'm an influencer. Do you hear how I am saying it? If they are going to take me, I have to sign an indemnity form saying that when I leave, I'm not going to take half of their stuff with. At that moment, I was so hurt. Guys, I was so hurt. Like, how dare they accuse me of such a thing? No. For me, it would mean for me. I was an influencer because I am so poor. And
And you were not even getting paid when I speak. Our brand was approaching.
I didn't even know what influencer means. I didn't even know the understanding of influencer. I didn't even know the meaning of influencer. But I'm an influencer. I'm happy because I'm an influencer.
That's sorry.
This year.
And listen, you know what? It's funny how she I feel, man, I always say it's funny how people will call you names without realizing they actually planted it.
Thank you.
And I feel an influencer is obviously someone that influences. You know, now they were not realizing they were actually planting a seed of greatness. You know, now you're an ambassador for Mrs. South Africa.
And an influencer, am I right? And I'm so happy to be an influencer.
Yeah.
You know what?
You are
That one day, when I was back there, I had so much anger in me because these people are accusing me of being an influencer.
It's even funny that you actually now I even made a small mockery out of it. You are now representing all these brands. Our Empress Palace, our Lamela.
And you know what, guys? The people that I actually influenced right now are doing so well.
Yes.
They thanked me. Like, you can ask a month going after that. I got messages, I got posts saying that, like, thank you for resigning. You gave me power to stand up and say, this is not for me. Not here. I have had enough. This and that. I was like, wow. But still, I was angry. I didn't understand. Now I'm very happy that I influence people to go in the right path. You know?
There's one thing I want to say to you guys. I make it my own. It's Ogmandina said it. So I'll first read what he said, but now I ended up making it my own words. He said, I'm here for a purpose. And that purpose is to grow into a mountain, not to shrink into a grain of sand. Henceforth, I will apply all my efforts to become the highest mountain of all, and I will strain my potential, until it cries for mercy. We all know what mercy did when God was. It said no to us being basically abolished on earth because we didn't wanted that much that mercy said no, give them grace. I would rather be the one taking over. Be that person you want your purpose to be as high even if you're short as me. Make sure like your potential cries that mercy must hear and wait grace to come and shield you for your purpose must be fulfilled. When you said that was grace, because yes, they needed to see. Maybe they overlooked you. How many they were? Chances are one person was looking down, and I'm doing so at the end of it all, we must understand the things that we do continuously. It could be that the right person was never there in your moment. Don't be afraid to start over again in the same position, because it could be that the right person that is going to usher you to your greatness was not there. Now it's present. Do it. Now present. Do it. We are so afraid of starting over, and we are so conditioned by the Boston standard. That's how we were conditioned. We must learn not to be afraid to start over. Now, one thing about me that I'm so fortunate and I'm grateful to, I'm not afraid to fall or stumble on my words when I'm on stage. When I walk on stage, I don't know half of what I'm going to say. But when I walk there, I find one person I connect with. And right there, that person gives me whatever. And I'm like, child, this is going to be what is going to happen. And I allow it. Let us take our energies. Like, you have people that you've connected without even speaking words to them. Got it in it. Allow it to happen. You are not an island. You can never prosper. Your purpose can never be fulfilled. We want. Making a lead. I've got a team, and some of them, they never consider themselves as a team. Karo, you guys are, because when you bring a glass of water, or when you make sure that the petrol is full, or when you make sure that my lashes they stay on point the whole day, my shoes are not like looking ugly. It's a team. You guys also have a fleet of team. Those are the people that bring your purpose forward. Let us acknowledge them and not forget the purpose. Because when you acknowledge them, you forget for it. Like people say, wow, drop says, the application, the appointment letters. Then after that, no, we found a better person. And the qualification wise, I know I started with them, making clear distinctions. Yeah, and I started creating 50 pasta. Kilo 75, 78, 80 something. But nana, imagine, but better. Kilo how? Let me explain what did how did I fall? And then I had none of people was speaking to me directly because I always never wanted people to come and say their prophets or their like but I always wanted let talk to me first before you confront and the second person and the third person. He could come to me and say, you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing in a dream. Or he will show me somebody that I overlooked. I don't know, Munyaka. Even if they've moved places. And then sometimes I ask for his message, bring them to either one of my events. Like yesterday, the lady that I'm supposed to be helping, she finally came. And I was grateful and I took her number. Because when your purpose is not fulfilled, you will have everything, it will not go your way. You will have the money to plan every event, or you will have the money to take you in the most random places, but if your purpose is not fulfilled, you will stop everything. Everything you do over. Only the most intelligent person, not tomorrow you are able to can bring who's and what. This year, he showed us. I will show you if you think that all the money can get you anything, even that they can't even buy the vaccine. They were about the standards. Nonsense. If ever you're going to give them, you guys are going to be sick. It doesn't choose color, creed, money status. And what about but you know how come like we all started noticing this where now you don't even go to the doctor. Whatever every month, when we are really seriously sick, that's why you should know the grace that we have.
Yeah.
Now I was COVID-19 and I didn't even know it, and I never infected anybody in the house. And I was like, yes, something about I'm testing, but they were safe because sometimes Mudu stops you. And then you're forgetting that person. We need to know our strengths. We need to know what is in our hearts. Don't run away from it. I'm talking to myself, I'm talking to everyone. We mustn't run away from what you think is passion. It's not your passion, it's your purpose. You just need to be passionate about that purpose. Build it.
Yeah.
Even if some people are gonna mock you, but then into fashion. What if it's your purpose, child? If you have to open an establishment like a restaurant, open it. Would you go sustain in the difficult times? I've got 2 kids that in the Miss Tanzania, they've actually started businesses in COVID-19, 16-year-old and 15-year-old. Well, now who are you that you're gonna come and complain? What are you doing with your purpose? 15-year-old, what are we doing with our purposes? Where now you're an influencer, what are you doing? You're going to be angry at somebody for telling you how great you are. Use that for your potential and the power that you were given. If you are a psychologist, Nana, start making videos. People are hurt.
Yes,
They need to hear every morning. People need to hear. I need to hear things that are positive.
Then follow up cousins or
but post it on your personal page too. What we forget is in the social media state, we need to connect with people. Businesses we connect after. What you do to your business, do in your private state, and let it be public. How time that you remove that thing in private for what? Somebody needs to be motivated by you.
Yeah.
They need to speak about it every morning. Now when I go to a feed, I want motivation. You take according to what you want. People are waiting to do that. People are waiting to hear. Some people right now, we love content so much that it inspires us. We business people, we need to find content. Post it. Don't wait for 3 days. No, I'm not You don't know that inspires me to start something. I'm telling you guys, it's a real thing. It doesn't mean if you have a business and then you want to only post on your business, post on your personal life because you are a person before the business. If you die, the business will die because no one has seen. Post on, because you've got more followers on your own personal page than and speak about what you do. It's not gloating or reganana. It's not that person is not around to understand what you're doing.
Yeah.
Because if somebody understands I need a psychologist in my life, I will understand when you say I'm a psychologist, I've studied 10 years, I've got a BA. Do you know my story? You will understand my story and tell me how it is. If a fashionista, yes, I'm dressing this, I've got this. How do you believe it? That's your purpose. Fulfill it. Because someone is dying here. I'm emotional. I need somebody to help me how to deal with that emotional shit. And then you're gonna stop and not talk. What is that? You're killing the very people that you need to help. Step into your purpose and move forward.
While we are stepping into our purpose, I think it's also important for us to remember to stay authentic. Because I remember Somizi, that was Somizi, you guys think Somizi is crazy. I love Somizi is so wise, guys. Somizi the wise. Somizi once said, don't forget, the universe only answers true or believing now.
Because you know allocate.
Yes, you have to be authentic. Now, for example, when I started doing my TikTok videos, I had a sponsor, right? And the sponsor, I love her. I love her with everything. She called me and said, the queen doesn't do it. I'm like, what? I don't understand. This is me. No, a queen doesn't do TikTok things. If you continue, I'm going to drop you. It doesn't align with me. I told her I'm happy about it. She didn't know how to act about it. I told Lita was like, no, hell no, mommy. We fought so hard for you to find your light again. That is you. And I stopped, and I didn't even realize that stopping made me sink in a mini depression.
Yeah.
Good job. Because I found me, and I remember how I told you about it. I was like, you are mad, you are so funny. Like, I look at you when I'm in the bed, and I just laugh. So, for me, I'm authentic. If you look at my videos, I have stopped trying to be Naomi Campbell, darling. I'm not. Like, I stopped doing that. People call me 1AS, for example, because almost anything we are about or 1AS. So when you're like my sister, my brother, I get when we are foreign, you say my sister, my brother. That could have been 1AS. So I'm authentic, I do my videos, people laugh, and I get the messages that say, we're just too much. For me, I understand that I healed you that day.
Yeah.
For you to laugh to a point, you're too much.
I bring this here. That one is waiting for you, friend.
Thank you.
So
I'm going to point out the video jaga, authentically me, Yabakulobedu, Akachava. Yeah, like even when I go to Pretoria, get a whitey. The third sentence. No. Yeah, sorry, Alina was one. Every time she said, I'm like, please. She knows she'll have food and everything. I'll ask her, like, is that what you have? And then she says yes. I'm like, no. Like, I'm serious. Is that what you're eating? Ah, yes. And then I'm like, no. You let them know you can't eat that. That's boring. I don't want to right now. So don't forget to be authentic while you're finding your purpose and leading others.
Yeah.
Be authentic. There's nothing that will cripple you than trying to be someone that you're not.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Just to add on what you just said about authenticity, I feel
forgive myself. And the moment I got to, like, I feel it also ended up on me being depressed, me being hospitalized about that. So, she knows, she would always be like, look, you're not being yourself. And the moment I got into that zone of learning to love myself, and by the way, you have to be very intentional about it.
Yeah. Yes.
I remember my sister was like, if Logan, you have to set an alarm and be like, to the message and say, Logan, I love you. At first, when she said that, I was like, but that is so sweet. But now, it's way easier for me to look at myself and be like, okay, let's go, girl. And yeah, it starts with you forgiving yourself.
Yes.
It's not an easy thing, but you need to practice it, and automatically you'll just be yourself. You'll be authentic, and there's power in that because no other person can actually be you.
Yeah, and yeah, you're so right. You know, I remember I used to want microblading so badly, and I knew I could never afford it. 1,700 I could never afford it, but I wanted it so bad. And I remember every time I go pee in the morning, especially in the morning, because in the morning that is when my thoughts are clear. Okay. That is when I do my speeches. That's when I do my banking in the morning. After 9, I finish. I wake up at 4, and I'll go and look at myself, and I'm like, if we just have that one session of microblading, I promise you, your confidence will be up there. I love enhancement. If I would have these lashes attached to my eyes permanently, you would do that. This is dramatic. Microblading. It's like a tattoo under your eyebrows. Tattoo under your eyebrows. There's no line, there's no eyebrow pencil. Yeah. It's microblading, it's like a tattoo. They give you pigment, black pigment, under your eyebrows, and they give you shape. You wake up like being on flick. You always get what? I woke up like this. I woke up like this. So I treated myself, I told myself, after treating myself, I connected with Muiponi from Moi's Beauty Bar. She's best known for her microblading craft. Whatever. That woman knew nothing about me, but I made it a point out that I communicate with that woman every day like she's my girlfriend. The day she said to me, come to microblading. Show me, I was over the moon. I'm like, okay, how much? She's like, no, forget about me. Just come. When I got there, I remember talking about healing. I got there, I remember she wasn't there. Her offices were closed. The security guard said to me, she's not here, she doesn't work on Mondays. I'm like, no, I'm special. Yeah. I'm a Mrs. South Africa finalist. And she said to me, I'm special and she's going to do my microblading for free. There's no way she cannot be here. Yes. Karena kita ada wujudnya spesial. Mimpi bila nanda white kita mau nasi kamande. Itu dia microblading wa kau punya itu over 7 months. Yeah. Ada tu mimpi lekam phone. Baru phone loh. Kamu phone lah. Kerja video call. Apa bonjour nasi spesial. Yes. Nah itu dia microblading kamande. Nana ada kamande. Yes. Hello mommy. Hello mumu. Mommy, I am. You're dead. She's here. The Mulabari that rocks. Yes. Yes. Oh my God. I forgot about that shit. I thought it was okay. On the video for it, I'm like, to the security, thank you. Yeah, I'm like, oh, no problem. Oh, that's the shit. How? And she said I broke down. And she stopped like however she is. And I'm like, she's trying to talk to me. I'm like, no, it's fine, I understand. But you don't understand that you're crying. No, I understand. I really, really do. You know, I mean, like that important things. Your children are more important than me. I drove all the way from Eastern. You're not here for me. And I'm special. And you forgot about me. How can you forget about me? I broke down and I cried, and the woman felt so bad. I made that woman feel so bad. It had nothing to do with her. I had been rejected so many times in life, and I never went back to look at my rejection and deal with them. I took everything out on people who just made a mistake and forgot about me. That forced me to go back home. For 2 days, I couldn't go to work. I refused to go to work. It was a Monday, man. Tuesday, I refused to go to work because I felt she rejected me. How can I be rejected? At the age of 21, people are still rejecting me. Kanjani, what is it that I'm doing wrong? I opened my heart to everybody. I mentor children that don't even need to be mentored. Some mothers, white mothers come and like they literally insult me for mentoring their white children because they can't do the job properly. And she rejected me. I sat down with Chase when I realized what was happening. I'm like, love, I need a mistake. I had someone that didn't deserve to be like, I'm perfect. When I knocked on sponsors' doors and I got no, I didn't deal with it. I moved on to the next sponsor door. And I got a no. And I moved on to the next. And I got a no. And I moved on to the next. And I got a no. I forgot to take a moment to say, oh, that no actually hit you now. Heal before you go knock again. I looked at my aunt when my aunt chose her daughter over me. That was rejection that I never dealt with. My body saying I forgot about you reminded me of my aunt saying this is not as important as your sisters to me. So I called Mikoi and I apologized. I'm like, I'm so sorry. It had nothing to do with it. I hurt you and it was unnecessary. I hurt you because I was hurt. I'm okay now. If you don't want to touch my face, I understand. I hurt you. You didn't deserve it. I was hurt because of the rejection and I never took the moment to say, whoa, this actually hurts me. I'm out of my comfort zone and this hurts me. I just thought I can go on and on and on and on and on. So forgive me, dear mother. I didn't mean to hurt you. Just to add on what the child said, until you feel yourself, anyone that comes into your life, even if it is not them, they will touch that wound that you fail to look at and actually heal. So heal yourself so that you can have that authenticity. And by me going through what I went through, it forced me to be authentic and say, what she said with this and that, I think about it. Yes. Ngabati is this one that picked up the phone and said, regardless of what you said to me, it was not my intention. Mara yo, you Ngabati and it's either you take me as Ngabati or you just don't take me.
Shine, Ngabati, shine!
Oh wow, guys. I'm looking at time and wow, your stories are so beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
I'm highly inspired by each and every one of you from the audience side. Even you guys have that thing, you know what, that one, I'm just gonna talk to her and connect to authenticity, find out what's the story, that type of situation.
Having insecurities is normal because you have to have something that you have to focus or work or perfect. You have to have that one thing that makes you bad inside for you to overcome. I also had jealousy at some point in life. How I got over my jealousy is accepting that what you have, I don't have.
We need to know our strengths. We need to know what is in our hearts. Don't run away from it. I'm talking to myself, I'm talking to everyone. We mustn't run away from what you think is passion. It's not your passion, it's your purpose. You just need to be passionate about that purpose. Build it.